everyone, your disguise gal Dot here to host this episode of Ask the Famous Penguins. With me today I have...
Why do I have to be here again?
Because every episode has had two hosts.
And you couldn't ask Agent A why?
I don't know, I thought this would be fun, I guess.
And why is he here? Hey! I can hear that, you know! And...
Please don't start a fight, you two. We haven't even asked a single question yet.
Fine. If you try to trick me into exposing my next plan again, I'm leaving. No promises.
Just stop it!
Fine.
Okay, so, oh yeah! We gotta explain who's here with us first. Almost forgot that part. They've been dubbed the, other agents.
Herbert isn't an agent. He's a villain.
I know, but shush, please! Agent A came up with these names. Not me.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways, this means we have Paige the Puffle Handler, aka PH, Antarctic, Gary, and Herbert here today to answer some of your questions. Howdy, everyone! Hello again, everyone. Yes, hello. Alright, how about we start with...
What's the matter?
Oh, it's so hard to choose. How did they do it?
Let's just start with Herbert. What? Why me? Unless you'd like to go last. Alright, fine. Now let's see here. I'm not asking that.
What? You have to!
This is ridiculous.
Then give me the paper. I'll do it. Okay, Herbert, here's your first question. If you didn't mind the cold so much, what would your favorite thing to do on the island be?
You know, for once I agree with Jetpack Dude over there or whatever. You shouldn't have asked me that. Answering a silly question like that is a waste of my time.
But you have to!
Why exactly?
For the viewers! See, there's people out there who want to know more about you, Herbert. They're fans of yours, I guess you could say.
Fine. I guess sledding wouldn't be all that bad.
Thank you! Now, on to the next question.
Right. Gary, what's your favorite invention from the ones you've made so far?
My favorite? Let's see here. The transformation ones were always fun. Like the sleds for Halloween that one year. The snow tracker. No. The spy camera 3000. No. The command coach.
Just pick one, please.
I'm trying, but it's proving to be quite difficult. Well, crikey, that's like asking me to pick my favourite elite puffle. They're all just so darn cute.
So then, those are your top three?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say they're my top three. Well, we're gonna have to leave it there, because we'd run way over the time limit if you kept going. So, on to the next question. Antarctic, could you describe the process that goes into making each edition of the Club Penguin Times?
Gladly. So, first thing when I wake up, I'll start off with a cup of Earl Grey tea to get my creative juices flowing. Then I'll waddle around the island and see if anything interesting is going on. Then I'll start with interviews for special panels, and I'll finish off by looking over a short story, poem, and art submissions to see which ones I'll put in the next issue.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you keep yourself pretty busy then, huh?
Not as busy as us agents.
Don't mind him. Anyways, why don't you ask the next question, Jetpack Guy?
Alright. Hey, who's your favorite elite puffle?
Well, it's a mighty difficult one right off the bat. They're all so cute and fun with their different personalities. Chip loves painting my portrait, Pop's got all his bubbles, Pants is great with snowballs, but I think I'll say Loop. She helps me keep the wild puffles from causing too much trouble. Not that I want any of them to think they're more important than the other, but, you know, just for the sake of answering your question there. Right. Ooh, now comes the exciting part.
What's that?
First group question, silly.
Oh.
So, why don't you foretell us, if you could have one attraction or service to the island, what would it be and why?
Oh, well, now that's a tough one, too. Well, I think I'd have to say a nice tranquil garden where penguins can relax
good one. And I think I'd like to add something with machinery. Let's see. How about a rocket racetrack? Let's see, what now? Well, you see, you'd have these roller skates with rockets attached to them. Are you sure that's safe? Well, I would have to go through quite a lot of testing.
Right, well, I know we have one for the Puffle Party usually, but I'd like to add a permanent Puffle playground where penguins can waddle around and chat while their Puffles have fun together. Sounds great! Now, Herbert, you haven't said an answer yet.
Do I have to?
Yeah. Answering the questions is kind of a requirement.
Fine, tanning salon. There, I said it. Again, what? Just imagine the warmth of sitting under those lamps compared to the bitter cold of the outdoors. You just use that as a means to heat up the island, wouldn't you?
Anyways, let's just move on. Oh, yeah, Herbert, it's time for your second question.
We do this more than once.
3 times to be exact.
That's one thing we can agree on.
Okay, anyways. Oh, yeah, Jetpack Guy. I guess it's your turn to ask a question.
Still not doing it.
Whip, so stubborn!
Alright. Yeesh. So, next question for Herbert. What's your favorite? Wait, no. Seriously?
Just finish the question.
Fine. What's your favorite food? Guess I like the smoothies you guys make. Wait, you go to the smoothie booth in the sports field? Oh, yeah, all the time. I get the same thing every time. Blueberry, blackberry, and peach smoothie. So, you want to melt the island, but you're also a regular in one of our shops? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Maybe we should just move on. Gary, how about this one? How do you come up with inspiration for all your new ideas?
Let's see. Well, I start each day off with a cup of coffee. Well, a few different things could happen next. Along the way, I might encounter some penguins with a problem, in which case I rush off to invent a solution to help them with said problem. Other inventions are commissioned by the director of the EPF themselves.
Oh, it sounds like there's a lot of things that give you new ideas.
There are many paths on the road to inspiration, so I say. Sometimes when an invention isn't going as I plan, I step outside to clear my head, and that's when other ideas may come as well.
Yeah, it's the same way with my costumes, too. I'll design something unique for a mission, or if I see something out in the wilderness that inspires me, I'll make a costume based off that, too. Anyways, oh, sorry. We went on a bit of a tangent there. Oops. Jetpack Guy, you gonna ask Antarctic the next question? Hello?
Huh? What? Oh, sorry. Next question?
Yeah, you okay?
It just doesn't make sense.
You can ponder that after we're done here. You ready now?
Oh, right. Antarctic, the next question for you is, what has been your favorite holiday on the island?
Holiday? Well, let's see now. There's New Year's and Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day. Oh, so many to choose from. April Fool.
You know whose favorite that would be.
Yes, sometimes Rocky can get a bit carried away with his pranks. Anyways, as I was saying, I think I like Walrus the most. Yes, it brings everyone together. And the coins for change that happens right before, oh, it's just so warm and fuzzy, like a nice, warm cup of tea.
I love that time of year too, because I get to design warm scarves and hats for all my friends. Not that Jetpack Guy ever wears the ones I make for him, though.
I've told you, you can't go over my earpiece.
You know you don't have to wear that all the time, right?
We can talk about hats later. Why don't you ask the next question?
Alright, but only for audience retention. Don't think I'll forget about this by the time we're done here. Anyways, now for your next question, Paige. What inspired you to care for the Puffles? What inspired me, huh? Well, let's see. Ever since they were first discovered, I was intrigued. I mean, crikey, how could something so small have so much energy? So I got into studying them, and of course that involved watching them a lot and feeding them and caring for them, and the rest is history. Yep, that's how I started working with the Puffles. Pretty straightforward, huh? You expected something more? Isn't that similar to how you became a designer, yeah? You saw designs in Penguin style and wanted to create something similar. Then you branched out and got your own style over time? I guess that's fair.
Oh yeah, like the crab suit you made that one time. Don't think I forgot about how you had Agent A sneak into my base wearing that thing. Alright, let's just move on to the second group question. If you could go anywhere for vacation, where would it be? Easy. Tropical island. You know, the nice sea breeze, coconuts and bananas and tropical fruit. It's perfect!
Probably the jungle. You encounter loads of new creatures. Maybe even find a new species of puffle or something. That's the thrill of it. You know it's out there.
I'd probably go somewhere nice and quiet like a meadow so I can continue to focus on my writing.
Does it have to be a place?
What do you mean?
Well, I did invent that time machine.
Right. Can I change my answer then?
Sure, I guess.
I'd like to travel back to the 1920s. I think it would be nice to experience a simpler time, when things were all in black and white, like a newspaper.
And I'd go to the future to see what new technologies exist.
Wouldn't that kind of mess up the timeline? Because then you'd come back, but you'd already know what was going to exist?
If that information fell into the wrong hands, maybe. I don't like that look. What? Can't a guy think? Not if it's about ways to use the time machine to take over the island. Fine. Well, if traveling to the future isn't an option, I'd travel back to see my Uncle Garowald before he became a ghost.
Ooh, a nice getaway to see the family. Sounds wonderful.
Do the rest of us even know anything about our pasts?
Well,
I could always take you to find out.
maybe after the episode?
Wait a minute. We're still not done?
Nope, still one more round.
You've got to be kidding. My thoughts exactly.
Anyways, Herbert, your next question is, if you could be an animal other than a polar bear, what would it be?
Are you trying to say being a polar bear doesn't suit me? Well, considering a polar bear is supposed to be able to tolerate the cold weather because of its fur. Listen, being able to tolerate and liking something are two different things. I never said I couldn't tolerate the cold, I just don't like it.
Right, carry on.
Anyways, it was my question, so... let's see. Fine. Probably be like a seal or something. Then I can get away with ruining the island by stealing hot coffee cups and pouring it on the stove to melt it.
Right. Anyways, why don't we just ask Gary the next question? That would be you, Jetpack Guy.
So, Gary, what would you say is the most helpful thing when it comes to your inventions? The most helpful thing? Well, this might sound like a bit of a cliche answer, but it really is the field testing and the feedback from my fellow agents and inventors. Testing to see how things work and having a fresh set of eyes are the best ways to improve your ideas for the future. You know what? I can actually agree with that one. Except most of my plans have resulted in failure. Face it, you'll never triumph over the EPF. Wanna bet? Ugh. Are we almost done here?
2 more single questions, then our final group question. So, Antarctic. You must see a lot when you go around the island looking for news stories and advice columns. Lots of scary stories, frightening events. You know, since you're always the first one to report whenever Herbert's plotting something. So the question is, what scares you the most?
What scares me the most? Well, it's not a physical thing, really.
What do you mean by that exactly?
What frightens me most out of anything is horrible spelling.
What?
And the paper you've been using as reference is riddled with errors. Who wrote this?
I think it's name of Rookie in charge of that. Jeez, this handwriting too. It's like Bugsy wrote it.
That's why they can communicate with each other?
Huh?
Never mind. Anyways, on to the second to last question of this episode. And that would mean Jetpack Guy, you're up again.
Alright, so Paige, we talked a lot about what inspired you to initially start studying the puffles, but how exactly do you go about that?
Right, that's a fun one. I've got loads of different puffle costumes, so I'll just put one on, go into the wilderness, and pretend to be a puffle. That's honestly the best way to study their natural behaviour and figure out their interests. Though it didn't go well that one time the Red Puffles tried to initiate me in their group and launched me out of the cannon. I didn't fit, so, it broke. Never mind. Yeah, they were right displeased with me after that, but I knew for next time. So, next time I pretended to be a Red Puffle, I had Gary make me my own cannon. You actually launched yourself out of it? Yep, I'm willing to do anything to get a chance to study Puffles up close. Alright then.
So, is this finally the last question?
Yep, and it's my turn to ask it, so I'll be the one to wrap things up here. So, the final group question is, we've made a lot of changes to the island over the years. We've had a lot of improvements, a lot of places built for events. So, what's been your favorite?
Oh, wow. That's quite a large time span.
Well, you know, I'm going to talk about how much I love the Puffle Hotel. It's a perfect place to play with all your cute little pets. We've had lots of Puffles over the years, haven't we? Lots of fun toys and games, but nah, I'm sticking to my answer.
A difficult one indeed, since we've been around since the very beginning. So much has happened since then, it's hard to remember it all.
Well, I do quite enjoy the rather futuristic look of the PF command room. The green holographic computer screens, the practice missions and system defender, and the large monitor and the meeting table in the center. Makes a scientist like me feel quite at home.
So I bet you liked it better when the lab was connected to the EPF instead of the sports shop, though, huh?
Actually, I didn't mind the move all that much. The sports shop gave me a bit more room to keep all of my inventions on display. But that's another topic for another time. Right now, I think it's about time we are wrapping up this episode.
Right, but we can't end without hearing everyone's answer.
Yes, of course. I think I'll have to settle with the addition of the recycling plant. Seeing penguins come together to keep the island clean and reuse our old items and give them to better homes. It was just another thing that brought our community closer together.
And that's...
What are you doing? We haven't heard Herbert's answer yet.
I want to heat up the island, and you're asking me what my favorite addition is? Do I have to pick something?
Yep.
Wait, why am I even listening to you? I didn't even have to come here today, just because you invited me.
Fans, remember? I'm sure there's people out there who adore you who would love to get to know you better by hearing your answers. Please?
You don't really believe that, do you?
Sure. We'll pick H&A that the episode ended with Brit coming off. That'll make her sad.
Okay. Quit looking at me like that. Jeez. You really think so, huh? Alright. Well, I guess the only place on the island I really like is this cove. It's got the campfire, so, I'll sit around and stay warm. What I'd really like is if the whole island was like this. But it seems like that's too much to ask. Yep. Okay, we're ending it here. Before my instincts kick in and I wind up arresting you. What are you gonna do? Throw me in that dinky little cell again? Actually, we've since upgraded, and our cells are now protected by a laser. Oh, I'm so scared.
Yep, okay, that's enough, everyone. I've been your host, that was Sky Scout, here with my co-host.
You should be. You never should have messed with the EPF. I've escaped before, and I'll escape again.
Is currently preoccupied.
Anyways, we're all signing off. Goodbye, everyone.
Farewell.
Good night, then.
Yeah, well, at least I meant it told you guys in a cell for more than 10 seconds. It was not 10 seconds. You're right, it was more like 1. That was Rookies.
Okay, everyone, we're ending it there. Bye now.